Okay, I was getting close to it clicking off on me. It's, and I can never say this, and it just flows off of her tongue. It's Hectanuga, I believe. Hectanuga 1. It's Hectanooga. My handwriting is not the best. 1, and her name is Emmy. And if you want to know how to do anything, and I mean anything at all, because she does it all, and she also has a way of explaining and showing the process that is, I don't, have you ever gone to one of the tutorials and found that the explanation and the actual, handwork that it's taking to do it, it's just not working for you. It maybe is too technical, or it's too fast, or that there's just something that doesn't work. I can't say that about Emmy, and I've been following her for several years now. In anything that she does, I have been able to follow. All those books, anything for dummies. Well, honest to goodness, she does the most beautiful work, and her videos are made so that even I can follow along and figure out how to do it. I've sent friends there who have said, oh, I sure would like to learn how to crochet, or I sure would like to know how to paper mache. I sure would like to know how to make jewelry. I sure would like to, and every one of them I've sent straight to Emmy. I don't ever fear sending, because I figure if I can learn from Emmy, anyone can learn from Emmy. She's just that good. This particular flower, I wanted to start off first with one that's crocheted, and I remember one that she had done very early. All it is a single chain of crochet. That's much longer than this, and you can make it in any size you want. You can make it with any material. I decided to go ahead and use the twine, the baker's twine, because we do use so much of it when we work. Then all I did, once I made a nice long chain, longer than this is just to show you, is count 5 stitches down from the end of my chain. And let me get this in the back. Then I went into the top of that 5th stitch. I'm going to do just a single crochet in there. I can get it from back here behind the camera. And then I'm just going to do 5, chain 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I counted, she has one very similar to this, but I made this pretty much my own, and I skipped one and went into the next one. That kind of just worked for me. Went into the top of the next one, did a single crochet in here, and then chain 5. And that's pretty much what I've done. Is if you see there, it's like 2 petals of your flower. Now you'll just continue doing that all the way down until you get to the end. You're going to leave yourself a little bit of a tail, because you're going to use it. You're going to use it for sewing. You're going to put a needle. You're going to bind off. Do a slip stitch, bind off at the end, and then you're going to put a needle in the end of your thread, and I'll maybe be able to show you a little bit better on this. All I did was then wind it around in a circle on itself, as you can hopefully see. That's all it is. And with that end piece, what I was doing was just stitching this to this. this to this, maybe about 4 of them all the way around the circle, and then tied my beginning thread and my end thread together, and that was it. I ran the needle up before the last stitch, ran the needle up, caught a little bead. I did butterflies on these, ran it back down again, and that's when I tied the beginning edge, the beginning thread, and the end thread, tied them together, tied them off in the back. And I think I'm pretty much going to leave it that way. I don't know whether people are going to want to glue it down. They can certainly tie this off, snip it off at any place after the knot, and that'll be perfectly fine. That'll work. But if you go to Emmy, she will show you how to do this flower and 1,000 more that you probably will love. The next one I decided to try for the first time, doing some of my own dyeing. I had a lot of this lace, and so I decided to go ahead and just I used, I think, I can't remember now. I don't think it was a yard. Don't think it was a yard of material of lace that I used. I just stitched it with a with the loosest stitch on my machine at the bottom, pulled it tight, and made a rosette out of it. You've all seen that, and I'm sure you've probably all done that. I spritzed them so that they were not evenly colored, as I didn't want them to be evenly colored. I wound them around and put a piece of felt, glued a piece of felt at the bottom, and put a little wooden heart in the center, thinking that was a little bit more country looking than any other center I had. And so that's my second one. Then my third one, I wanted to do something different. Like I said, I'd like all of them to be a little bit more unusual than each one from the other. I wanted to be unusual. So I had this for a long time, and I've done some of the smaller yo-yos, and it's been fun. Over the years, I've done yo-yos for all sorts of different projects, but Clover makes quite a few designs. I have a large heart and a small heart that work out very well. I have circles of all different sizes to make all different size circle yo-yos, and then I don't know if I have a large and a small flower, but I do have this large flower, and so I wanted to go ahead and make the large flower and have that, see how that turned out for me. So I started in on them, and this is how they turned out. They do come out like a little flower. Now, I will say this is the only one of any that I've ever done that you actually sew in the center also. You take about 2, 4, it's probably about 4 stitches in the front that you take, and then pull from the back. The instructions are extremely easy, and I'm sure most of you have made these before, but this is how it turns out. And I put also a little round of felt on the back of it, and put a little dot in the center of it, hoping that it too would would go with this paper from this is, by the way, I got this from Scrapbooking With Me Boutique. So thank you, Edith. You were my inspiration for all these flowers. And then I did, for my closure, I'm going to be using my, the Tim Holtz die for the flowers, and using it in some way for the closure. So anyway, I've got to get off of here before this thing just shuts down on me. I just thank you so very much, all of you, for taking a peek at what I've done, and I'm wishing you a very happy evening, a good rest of the week, and we in the Midwest did not get completely blown away by those storms last from those storms last night. So thank goodness I'm still here, and my husband, and the condo is still standing. Unlike some who really very, very close to us. It probably, I mean, I think probably if you thought in your mind, it would be like the next town over. In Hazelwood area and the Florissant area in Missouri got hit terribly hard, and they are our neighbor cities. So we've been holding a lot of them in our thoughts and prayers, because there were certain areas that really did get hit very hard with that nasty storm that ran through the Midwest here in the United States just last night. So we're just giving thanks that everything is still intact here, and that we still have our home and and our belongings, which not everyone does. So anyway, this is Tilly, and I thank you for listening, and I'm starting to ramble, which means that it's absolutely time for me to sign off. So I'm wishing you all love, and have a beautiful coming weekend almost. Enjoy. Bye-bye for now. Well, whoops, it's me again. Wouldn't you know, I forgot something. As I did forget, part of the inspiration for Emmy's flowers to begin with was from Beryl Kim. Is that it? Am I saying that right? 37, and it was her video on 4/6 that she did. She had received a card, I believe, and on that card, along with other beautiful decorations and crafting, was a crocheted flower you could see in the background. I don't have anything here that's even similar to it, but maybe if you could imagine this being like a gem, and it sat on top like this, and that you could see the crocheted flower sticking out from behind it, and then it slid off of the card, and you could actually use it as a pin. And as soon as I saw that little crocheted flower behind that other big flower that was in the center, that's when in my mind's eye, I could see the flower Emmy had done. That was one of her very first, or a starter flower for people to work on, and that's when I went straight to her to search for that flower again. So anyway, that was my little addendum, and I didn't mean to leave her out, because I like to mention those who are inspiring in some way or another. I think it's the reason why we all work so well together and have such a good time watching one another, is because there's constant inspiration, just constant. So anyway, I will get off for now, and I'll let you maybe have a life for the rest of your evening this evening. So again, bye-bye for now. And hugs to Flossie and Mr. Wonderful.